bars, good.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant modern kingdom for the taking.
now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help, I had to do it all myself.
Good evening.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love.
Good evening, fans. We are joined by Bismarck-Henning junior guard Keeson Peoples. Keeson coming off a thrilling comeback victory on Friday in the sectional final. You guys were down 15-2 in the early going, rallied to make it a game, especially your big 8-0 personal run at the beginning of the second half. Tell us a little bit about your guys' mentality in the huddle when you're down 18-2, you're down still almost double digits at halftime. What was your mentality coming out in the second half in that one?
Just trusting each other, trusting in our work, our coaches, our fans, and each other. We came out second half and just relied on our defense, and it carried us through.
And you talk about that defense. Obviously, a calling card for you has been your scoring all year, 21 points a game, 26 points in that Friday night victory. But as much pride in anything else in those 5 steals, I'm guessing, in that defensive effort?
Yes, I take pride in my defense. I've been working on it all year. The beginning of the season it was a little shaky, but I think our whole team has come a long way on defense.
And that'll certainly be needed tonight in what could be a low-scoring slugfest with another team that'll roll out a great defensive side of the ball tonight in Dyett. And when you look at Dyett, when you look at this, your first time ever playing in a super sectional game here in high school action, what do you see as the most important key to victory tonight for Bismarck-Henning?
Just coming out strong, not digging a hole for ourselves like we normally do. We know they're athletic, well-coached, a great all-around team, but we just got to go punch for punch and stick with them throughout the game and hopefully pull off.
Thanks so much, Keeson, and good luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Did you hear it or not? If you didn't, just enough. We gotta move on. This test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. Well, I mean, because we just don't have time to deal with it. It's 6:51. Just move on. If it doesn't work, you just got to move on. That's something I want you to work on. Is when it doesn't work and it's not a priority, just move on. Move past it. It doesn't matter. The audio is at the low end of the priority list. Well, I mean, our audio works, but if you can't hear it, it's fine. All right. Okay. All right, thank you. Well, all right. Well, they could hear us during that broadcast because they can hear us right now.
There have always been a few, ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
Good evening and welcome into our telecast here of our IHSA Class 2A Super Sectional matchup between the Dyett Eagles of the Chicago Public League and the Bismarck-Henning Rossville-Alvin Blue Devils, BHRA, coming out of the Vermilion Valley. Dyett coming into this one with a record of 24-7, and Bismarck-Henning Rossville-Alvin BHRA at 34-1. We're glad you're with us here on this Monday evening. Matt Rodewald, Kyle Smith with you here from Joliet Central High School in the historic gym here at Joliet Central. It is an impressive facility for a super sectional matchup and a unique environment here at Joliet Central. And they have hosted the Class 2A Super Sectional the last couple of years, and they're thrilled to be doing it again, and we're looking forward to a good one between Dyett and Bismarck-Henning.
Yeah, absolutely, partner. This is a Bismarck team. Came back from a 16-point deficit in their round of 16 matchup. Keeson Peoples, watch out for him. He had 26 points in that win over Bishop McNamara, 21.2 points per game on the season. Meanwhile, Dyett, it's a very well-rounded attack. They have two players over 10 points per game, including Amaris Brown Jr., who we had in the pregame show. It's a Dyett team. Remember, they were in the old Red Central Division, only won 3 games in their last year in that division. But according to the coaching staff for Dyett, it helped them get a well-rounded team, well-rounded program, and they're ready for moments like this. I like the run by BHRA. It's their second time in the quarterfinals. Last time it was right before the pandemic hit. They lost in the quarterfinals, won 34 games that season. They go into this one with 34 wins. I just don't know if they have enough besides Peoples. They have Stanford as well, over 13 points a game. I don't know if they have enough offensively, a well-rounded attack, to match up well with Dyett.
You see the contingent across the way and the crowd in blue with the pom-poms, the entire BHRA student section. Again, it's 100. The Vermilion County area to come all the way up here to Joliet to face off against Dyett. And so we're looking forward to this one here, the final warm-ups here before we get started. Before we got started in this one, we had a bit of a fire alarm that went off here in the building. And so everyone else had to get up, evacuate, with about 10 minutes to go in warm-ups, and everybody sat back down. So a unique situation to have a fire alarm, but also a reminder about safety is first in these sorts of situations and these sorts of environments. Should we check in with Tommy Gilbert right now to see what his pregame guest is looking like?
Well, we already had the interviews. We
already did that.
Right out of break.
You know what? See, I'm getting used to the format here, Kyle. We'll figure this out here. So 3 minutes here as we get used to this one here and get set here. Interesting to see you, and had a conversation with BHRA head coach Gary Tidwell before this one. He talked about the fact that this is the most athletic team that they'll face. What are some of the issues that he might face offensively trying to go against an athletic team defensively in Dyett tonight?
Well, Bishop-McNamara is also an athletic team. Maybe not as athletic at Dyett, but like I said, they were trailing by 16 points in that game over Bishop-McNamara, trailing by 12 at halftime. I just don't know if they've seen a team like Dyett that's played very well-rounded teams like Crane. They lost to Crane in that one earlier in the season. I know that there's a lot more losses from Dyett than BHRA. I'm not going to hate on BHRA's strength of schedule, but that just Dyett's strength of schedule has been a little bit better than BHRA this season.
We'll go through their roads to Champaign here momentarily here, but no doubt a crowd that is favorable towards the BHRA crowd, everyone in blue. And one thing that you have to know as you set this up, and for the folks that are listening to us or watching us back in Vermilion County, this is a team of destiny type feel. When you start as undefeated as you did, a 27-28-0 to get as far as you did unbeaten before losing to Muhammad Seymour, and then continuing on with the dominance in the Vermilion Valley, the Vermilion County as well, and then just continuing to roll in the sectional round, then get to the super sectional for just the second time in school history. There's a feeling of confidence that they've had that their school and their program has never had before, and that's a tough thing to ride all the way to Champaign.
Yeah, I mean, we will see if Bismarck-Henning, and in these games, Matt, it's not always going to be Peoples. It's not going to be Stanford. It's going to be Dubois or the role players to get it done today for Bismarck. I don't know if we're going to see a lot of double teams on Peoples, but I'm sure that this coaching staff at Dyett is going to single him out, force him into some isolation, some tough baskets, and force Stanford and these other role players to get Bismarck-Henning to the semifinals.
One thing that might be the bugaboo for Dyett is their shooting capability. They are not a very good shooting team. They did very well in the regional final the sectional final to get points on the board early, but can they sustain that tonight? We shall see.
Yeah, partner, really quickly, both teams were undefeated in conference play. So we talked about strength of schedule. All you can talk about and all you can think about is who you play on your schedule. They dominated in conference play. Both teams undefeated in conference. It's going to be a fun one tonight.
The winner of this one will get what looks to be Manuel, who is absolutely boat racing Williamsville down in Springfield. That was a 20-0 game to start that one, and they have led ever since. It is 52-29 with 3 minutes to go in that one. So you get a look at the Eagles. They'll be in their home whites. We have a sneak peek at the starting lineup, so we'll carry those introductions for you momentarily, and the national anthem as well. Unique environment here at Joliet Central.
Feels like a Hoosiers game, doesn't it? The low gym with the crowds overlaying the players. Feels like something out of a Gene Hackman movie.
It's certainly one to check off your list in terms of your Illinois gym lore. If you haven't been here, you should come here once just to see what it's like. Meantime, our national anthem. Starting lineups for a Class 2A Super Sectional here at Joliet Central. Our officials for this one, they get to enjoy the work of Andre Bohart, Southside guy, Ivan Chambers from Aurora, who's heading downstate. Doesn't know what game he'll have yet, and their head referee today, Michael Pierce from Alsip.
It's going to be a fun one, man. Like I said, I'm interested to see what kind of defense Dyett uses. Are they going to go zone? Are they going to double off-ball screens on Peoples? He's the main reason they're here. They only beat Bishop McNamara by 3 points. Peoples had 26. Way to beat the Blue Devils today. Shut down Peoples.
Tossing it up. Get to see Du Bois and McKinnon go at it, and the Blue Devils win the tip, and off we go from Joliet Central, the winner, to go down to Champaign.
Here we go, one-on-one defense thus far, but Peoples not with the basketball yet.
Working to the outside, a lot of perimeter work, baseline, back cut. Du Bois, and taken away.
Yeah, an excellent steal on the baseline rotation.
All the way to the rim, and it's Ricky Coleman, the first bucket for the Eagles.
Excellent job. Team basketball at its finest. You want to go to the state semifinals, you better be ready to share that pumpkin.
Go to the right side. Again, going right to left, BHRA, right to the rack. Peoples, that shot too strong, and a rebound for Dyett.
Yeah, Dyett's really quick on their rotations. Peoples has to get that shot off quicker or it's going to be contested all night long.
Shelton holds on to it. See how patient Dyett's going to be offensively.
One guy to avoid fouling. Shelton's shooting over 85% from the free throw line.
Here's the first wrinkle from BHRA. They switched to his zone already.
Know where Brown is on the floor at all times. He's their one guy that can beat him.
Three ball right wing. Kellamit. That's Mackay Harris for three on the outside.
I've got Ricky Coleman, number 4 for Dyett. Early 5-0 lead for the Eagles. We're going to call a foul on BHRA or a sideline warning.
We've got a conversation going on with kids on the bench.
And head coach Jamal Gill did not like it.
Nope. That's a little early officiating, so he doesn't have to officiate later. So off we go. 5-0 early start for Dyett.
See if you can get Peoples off a ball screen. Quick three, get him some confidence going.
Stanford works high post. Here's Anderson Thomas. Back to Stanford. One-on-one. Drive, kick. Back outside. A minute and a half gone by. The winner to get manual as it's gone final down in Springfield.
That's the guy you want with the basketball. Number 2, Stanford, over 13 points per game. Try to get him going.
Lost his balance, the jump ball.
Possession arrow, Eagles. Not the start, obviously, that the Blue Devils wanted, but they're only down 5. Try to avoid open triples. Don't get beat on dribble drive penetration. Allow open threes for the Eagles.
This is a remarkably similar matchup to the one we had last year when it was Beecher that came in undefeated and got beat up by Phillips, who ended up winning the 2A state championship. Dyett took them out in the regional this year. Phillips, that is. So It's their baton if they want it.
That's what makes high school and college basketball so great, right? Somebody's got to graduate. It's not like the NBA where LeBron's played 20 years. Eventually in high school and college, of course LeBron didn't play college, but in high school eventually LeBron had to graduate.
Coleman, left side. They go to the left wing. Gotta love the patience here from the Eagles. They work on the baseline here, back to the right side. Harris drives, kicks, back outside. Corner, whip around. McKinnon for three, and he got it to go.
You know what, Matt? I want your opinion on this. I thought it was pretty good defense from the Blue Devils. It wasn't exactly an open three, but it was a little bit of separation, too, and the open tray hits for the Eagles.
Good patient movement, backdoor cuts, hands in the passing lane, and a takeaway for Dyett.
Yeah, if Dyett scores here to make it 10-0, going to be an early timeout called by the Blue Devils.
Right side, three ball. That goes!
Yeah.
Aramis Brown Jr. with the 11-0 run to start. What a way to begin it for Dyett.
We'll take a quick timeout. You're watching the Eagles against the Blue Devils here on the NFHS Network.
There have always been a few, ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come.
How's it going, everybody? Kyle Smith alongside Matt Rodewald. An early 11-0 lead, and Matt, 3 3-pointers. The one way that the Blue Devils could get blown out of the building is giving up the triple. You got to get back quickly in transition. They didn't, and an open transition 3 for the Eagles.
Similar start to the one they had the other day in their sectional final win against Leo. They had 3 threes and a 17-5 start. About the same thing here.
Wasn't that start 20-4 early lead for Bishop McNamara against Bismarck-Henning?
And this is one of the third or fourth super sectional games that has been one-sided from the start around the state. DePaul Prep got a big run on Canelan. Manual did the same thing to Williamsville. Now it's happening here in Joliet with an 11-0 start.
Yeah. Certainly not over yet. You got Peoples over 21 points per game, but would love to get a bucket here.
Drive, stop, and pop. It's short. And the rebound for Shelton.
Yeah, they're just stifling on Peoples. They're forcing anybody else to shoot but him.
We talked about the athleticism, but the physicality as well. 3 ball goes too strong, and that's going to belong to Bismarck-Henning. But that you can definitely tell the athleticism, but there's an element of physicality defensively that Dyett is disrupting BHRA and offensively the way they want to play.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to get a screen here and then a quick bucket from Peoples.
Drive, kick, go, it falls. Keeson Peoples, first basket for him, first basket for the Blue Devils, and everyone calms down a bit. Chance for the 3-point play. And is the first foul of the game here as we're about 4 minutes in.
Yeah, that's something Peoples got to do. Attack the basket early on, try to get the mismatch, get it off the window, and try to draw a foul.
Free throw short. Balanced scoring from Joliet Central. They got 4 different players that have scored so far, or rather, from Dyett, I should say, here at Joliet Central. Spread to the wing. Here's Shelton, double teamed in the corner. I wonder if you'd see some trap action from BHRA, but he gets out of it. Shelton to the rack.
Yeah, Matt, that's one of the rare 2-point field goals we've seen this afternoon. Dyett with 3 early threes, and interestingly, the message that Jamal Gill sending his team on the sideline: calm down, relax, make sure you're playing within yourselves and not getting over tempo almost.
All right, Tommy, thank you very much for that. You got a 13-2 start and a chance to add to it for Dyett. In between the rings, Shelton. 6'1" senior guard, kind of calming everything down.
Anything but a triple. If you give up a 2, you're okay. I think down 60-2, the Blue Devils would feel it a little bit.
Again, BHRA has been here before, but it's just a different level. They're down 18-2 against Bishop Mac on Friday.
I hate to bring up cliches, but they didn't get burned on a couple days ago. But today, 11-point deficit. You got to find a way to score pretty soon here, or eventually you play with fire, you're going to get burned.
Go to the right corner. Now the double team comes. They get out of it. Shelton holds it back to the right side. Here's Harris in trouble and stepped out of bounds, and it will belong to BHRA. So if they're going to force turnovers, they're going to find their way to stay around here and stay connected. Something that folks of the Blue Devils want to see. Gary Tidwell, in his 10th season as head coach. The ball got away from everybody here.
If you can get it to a 2-point deficit, it's hard to do because no shot clock, right, in high school basketball. If you could get it to a 13-5, 13-7 deficit, I would feel a lot better if I'm the coaching staff for the Blue Devils. Down 13 or more after the first quarter, definitely feeling it.
Jameer Brown on the court for the first time for the Eagles.
Find a way to mitigate the pressure by making passes.
3-ball, right side, short.
We saw it remember that St. Peter's game where North Carolina wasn't making shots, but then St. Peter's couldn't make them, and then eventually that 12-point deficit became 20 or more against the Tar Heels in the Elite Eight. It's okay if you miss baskets, but you got to find a way to get stops every time you miss when you're down by 11 or more.
Okay, they stick with the zone, trying to trap him in the corners here. Dyett being very patient. Jamal Gill, this kid's real discipline so far on the offensive end.
Just
skip pass.
You're right, Matt. Excellent skip passing, excellent passing by the Eagles.
Left side, 3, that's blocked, Harris, and it's saved. Here come the Blue Devils on the run out. Peoples has to hold up.
Watch out, Matt. You had Stanford almost on the timeline for the backcourt violation.
Stanford now one-on-one. And a 5-second call. He never broke separation. And Michael Pierce says no. That's a turnover.
Going from bad to worse right now for the Blue Devils. The good thing is they have made adjustments out of the timeout. And the other good thing a little bit for the Blue Devils, the only time the Eagles have scored is off triples. Eventually, those triples are not going to fall. If you can guard the paint like it's your life and not give up any easy buckets in the paint, I could see the Blue Devils still coming back in this one.
Both teams been pretty quiet offensively the last 3 minutes. Travel, yep, there it is. A little late to it. They got it nonetheless.
Yeah,
and a traveling violation
man,
for the Blue Devils. Jacob Johnson just on the floor for the first time, the 6'5 junior.
It's that old 2-on-1 drill, right? They beat the opposition. They had a 2-on-1. Just make the pass. Don't overthink it. He overthought it. Traveling violation against the Eagles.
Corner back out. Dubois. There's Chaz Dubois now between double team. Now to the corner. Stanford, 3. Got it. Micah Stanford, a badly needed 3 for BHRA.
It's good defense, though, by the Eagles. That wasn't an easy shot by any means, but Stanford, that's why he has 13.5 points per game on the season.
This BHRA crowd has been waiting for something to cheer about here as we are in our final minute of quarter number 1. Matt Rodewald, Kyle Smith, Tommy Gilbert with you. Our entire SBS and NFHS crew here from Joliet Central High School, one of the historic venues here in the state of Illinois, hosting the Class 2A Super Sectional.
It's excellent. And, Matt, if I'm the Eagles, I would hold for the last shot here.
Doing just that if they can hang on to it, and they did not. Oh, they call foul. Right in front of the official. Keeson Peoples going to get called for that one. Team foul's not a factor right now.
You said that Peoples has 2 fouls already?
2 team fouls.
Oh, 2
check
team
that.
fouls.
No, it's just 1 foul each.
Okay.
So team foul's not a
It's
factor
good to know
yet.
that, because if Peoples has 2 fouls, that's really bad news for the Blue Devils.
So here we go. Dyett will hold for 1. And this is Christian Lowe, the 5'9 junior, directing traffic out front. 8 on the clock.
Try to get it to Brown if you can.
Drive on in. It's Brown. Baseline. Will they get a shot off? They will not. And so BHRA holds, and the Blue Devils survive a terrible first quarter for them, and only down by 8.
They're only down 8, partner. A couple of threes. They're right back in this one. We'll take a quick 30-second break. It's Dyett 13, Bismarck 5 here on the NFHS Network. Nope. Mike?
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
watching live coverage of the IHSA Boys Basketball Super Sectionals on the NFHS Network, presented by NFHSnetwork.com/IHSA. Is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Illinois high school playoff action. Matt, Kyle, Tommy with you here from Joliet Central High School. It will be BHRA down by 8. Not a good quarter, but considering all things, to be down only by 8, pretty good position.
Yeah, I'd like to see Peoples attack the basket more, know the mismatches. They do have a little bit of a shot blocker in 24 for the Eagles, but for Peoples, stay aggressive, attack the basket, go off the window with the layups.
Neither team has a ton of size. You mentioned Jacob Johnson, 6'5". He's the tallest on the floor. Good movement to the corner. They whip it back out front as Dyett switches to the zone for the first time.
See, that's what you want. You want the center to overcommit to the perimeter and then attack, but it's got to be quick. Dyett's quick on defense. You can get Johnson to the perimeter, but you got to be quicker on your passes.
The skip passes are going to be dangerous every time. That one batted back out.
And if you're open, this is a pretty good three-point shooting team with the Blue Devils. If you're open, shoot it, don't wait.
It's Ethan Dubois, cross court.
Yeah, now they're getting kind of panicky. I know the zone isn't easy, but attack the baseline, attack the middle quickly. There you go.
Good look to get to the high post there. Back outside, Chaz Dubois. Check that, that's Ethan. The rebound by Chaz, he goes up. And a foul.
You know, attack this front court of the Eagles. See what their conditioning is like. Force Johnson and the other power forward to come out to the perimeter, test them a little bit, quick passes, and then attack the middle. That's the vulnerability of a zone, is always the middle.
So here's Dubois at the line. And yes, there's two of them on the floor. Everybody from Vermilion County well aware of that. Chaz at the line, again, 9 points a game. He had 15 in the sectional final.
It's going to be the role players. I always think of that three that Steve Kerr made to give the Bulls the championship. John Paxson. It's not just Jordan and Pippen. It's the role players, too, if the Blue Devils are going to advance to the semifinals.
Caden Kellerminick will check in for the first time. First time we've seen the 6'1" senior. Both free throws go, and it is back to 13-7. Again, this is an 11-0 start for Dyett, and the Blue Devils are back in it. Again, 34-1. The best season they've ever had. If they win today, it'll be a school record, 35 wins. And a takeaway.
Yeah, Dyett, not good passing there, and excellent job by BHRA getting away that passing lane.
Good movement to the corner. Kellerminick skip pass.
Keep attacking the middle, Matt. It's gonna happen when you keep attacking.
There goes Peoples into the middle. Back outside. Dubois for three. It's a little too strong.
Nice job, though. Attack the middle, force the rotations to commit, and then the open tray happens.
Dyett pushes back out. Shelton moves it all the way to the corner. Good recovery from BHRA.
Yeah, you know,
they say
Matt,
deflection.
Why do you think the Eagles aren't attacking on the baseline and trying to get it on the low block? Because eventually these threes are not going to fall for Dyett.
Yep, that's the gamble anyway.
It's a make or miss leaks. When you're over-relying on the three, you're just begging to get beaten. Right now, Dyett is over-relying on that triple.
You see Gary Tidwell all the way out to the free throw line. He thought it should be BHRA ball. There's just not really a clear signal. It was deflection. So it stays with Dyett.
I thought it was Dyett's ball, to be honest. But that's the thing when you're a coach, right? Even when the official's right, he's still wrong.
Well, you're hoping for a miracle every time.
Yeah, right? That's the official, right? Even when he's right, he's wrong.
As a 15-year official myself, I get it. Nice dump inside and the finish. Beautiful look, Ricky Coleman with the easy lay-in.
That's 5 points now for Coleman. He's having an excellent game. Like I said, I don't want to keep beating this point, but the role players have to step up if either team wants to go to the semifinals.
Can BHRA find some driving lanes to kind of force the issues on the zone? And that's why, because active hands there on that zone is going to create some problems.
Yeah. And Parter, it's also about the ball fakes and quickness. Always getting your defense to overcommit and second guess. When you keep doing the skip passes like BHRA got into a rhythm of doing that, eventually the Eagles caught up and they almost had a steal a couple minutes ago.
Trap coming, open man. They find him in the corner. Dubois, three, no. And the rebound, pump fake. Peoples had it stripped and stolen. No numbers, they'll push anyway. Harris to the rack, no. Loose, Shelton in the fight. Devils come away with it. Stanford in the lane, steps through, and no, they stand on the floor. on the floor, and it will be underneath.
As you watch Stanford draw that foul.
That's an encouraging thing there. Tommy.
It absolutely was. You watch Stanford draw that foul. He was part of the biggest sequence in the last 45 seconds there in the first quarter for sure for the Blue Devils. The big block of the three over in the corner and then hit a corner three all the way across the court about 45 seconds later. I was over during the quarter break in the huddle with the Blue Devils. Gary Tidwell's message to his team, it's a slow start, mainly due to turnovers. You withstood it, you're back in the game, and you can tell they're buying it. It's a much smaller deficit than they had on Friday, Matt.
And they start to understand what they're going against defensively and shoot over the top of it for three. Micah Stanford on the board from long range.
Here we go, partner. It was 11-0, now 15-10. What kind of adjustments can Jamal Gill and this Dyett Eagles make?
Well, they continue to go against the zone. These are two teams that like to go man, and they've kind of forced themselves to go into zone and force these offenses out of their rhythm.
I could understand Dyett doing it, but interesting that BHRA did it. And give credit to the Blue Devils. They're finding other guys to score besides Peoples.
Talking to Gary Tidwell before the game, he mentioned that they would do it, but to do it this much, I think, is probably out of his comfort zone. But it's working because shots are not falling now for Dyett, and here come the Blue Devils. Chance to make it a one-possession game. Back outside.
Well, he was open. I would have liked people to shoot that.
Three ball from Kalaminik. And they're within two. And a timeout for Dyett. The BHRA crowd is alive and well. 3:55 to go in half number one. And the Devils have climbed within a possession. And a timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Today's game's also available for all subscribers through the NFHS Network Live mobile app for Apple and Android devices. Download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today to start watching live games wherever you are, which is why on my computer in front of me I have Tutopolis and Althoff. That's going on down at SIU. That's a good one in the third quarter, so you can watch that on the NFHS Network. If you wanted to watch a blowout, you would have watched Manual just take care of Williamsville today. The reason I bring that up is the winner of this one will get the Manual Rams down in Champaign, 3:45 for the tip of that one on Thursday afternoon.
You sure do know your high school basketball, Matt, maybe even more than I do. Meanwhile, 15-13, like we talked about, Matt, the threes are going to come, but when you keep attacking the paint and forcing the center and the power forward out of their element, out of their rhythm, eventually both your two-pointers and your three-pointers are going to land.
And look at this extended pressure. Just enough to bother Dyett to bring it up court.
Yeah, they're just a little reluctant to attack the baseline, to attack the elbow. You got to do that if you want to win today.
Shelton looking for an angle, and he drew the foul. And he'll head to the free throw line. Again, it has been quiet in terms of fouls in this one, and that's a good thing.
I'd like to see the Eagles attack more with Johnson. He does have a 2-inch length advantage over the tallest guy on the Blue Devils. It's not a big advantage, but it is an advantage nonetheless.
Shelton, a 6'1" senior. Devon got the first one. And it's the first point in a while. Remember, this was an 11-0 start in the first 5 minutes, and so 5 points in the last 8 or so minutes. That's not efficient enough to keep going. Just want to make it a two-possession lead here as we wind down the first half. In and out. And the rebound to Thomas.
See if you can get it to Peoples. Peoples, if you're open, just shoot. Don't even think about it. You're open, shoot. Even if it's a little deep.
Kalaminik. He already has 1 3 that's gone down. Stanford.
Don't be afraid to be aggressive if you're the Blue Devils.
Here comes Peoples.
No shot clock, obviously, so if you have an open shot, take it.
Peoples thought about it. Tried to go in high post. Bounce pass got away from him.
Right, that's what I'm talking about, man. You know how in football, it's good to get first downs, but if it takes 20 plays to do so, eventually something bad might happen, like a fumble snap or something. That possession was kind of like that. Too many passes, eventually it led to a turnover. For BHRA, maybe 3 passes and a shot. When you get into 5+ passes, sometimes it can lead to a turnover like what just happened.
Dyett got a break there on that out of bounds as they inbound it all the way to the back. Here's Harris. Harris on the floor with Aramis Brown. Also going to look at Johnson.
Slow-moving offense for Dyett.
Patience against the zone. 2.5 left in the second quarter.
Oof, dangerous pass.
Go to the right side. Back and forth. Harris in between, kind of directing traffic.
It's not where you want your big man on the wing like that. You like to get him on the low block.
Shelton, we're trying to figure out how to attack this right now while being patient.
Now you got McKinnon, your power forward, at the top of the key. They look a little out of sorts right now.
Shelton. And again, clock continues to run. It is a low-scoring affair now, as this is grinded to a halt. This is very similar to what we saw in Pecatonica Friday night. Eastland Cougars held the ball for 7 straight minutes in the opening quarter. It was a 1-0 score after 1. That would be worth 3, but that didn't go. The rebound back up and in.
Well,
Johnson to finish.
Yeah, they got lucky that time. They're just reluctant to attack the elbow in the middle. And luckily they got the offensive board, but if they had it, there would have been another chance for the Blue Devils to tie the score.
Nearly an illegal screen. Peoples kicks out. Kalaminik wanted to pull the trigger on that.
Peoples has to be a little bit more aggressive. He has the open threes, but they're a little deep. They're 35-footers.
He goes set play, overload right side, trying to back up Peoples to get him a look. He gets one inside the ring, and it's too strong.
Got the look he wanted, though.
Took a shot to the face, incidental. Final minute of this first half. Back outside. Drive, stop, pop, Brown, no.
That's what I want them to see, though. I want them to be more aggressive. Stop over-relying on the three-point shot.
Stanford will pull it back out, and if Dyett will let them, they will hold for 1.
You don't have to, though. But if you're going to wait, try to wait with 5 seconds left on the clock. Don't shoot with 10 seconds or more.
Switch sides. Again, they've gotten out of the zone for this possession. They go back to man. Now the count. Already 1 5-second call in the books. DuBois. Backside screen, nothing there. Stanford, 8 on the clock. Stanford straight ahead. 3 ball on the way. Yes! Micah Stanford, long range. At the horn. Just short. And a big bucket for the Blue Devils, taking us to the break.
We'll take a quick break, and then we'll give you some halftime analysis. It's 18-16 Eagles here on the NFHS Network.
High school sports fan. High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
I can earn that solo!
You say mine did?
Yeah!
Come on! What's wrong with you?
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid earned that solo!
You saying I did?
Yeah!
You're watching live coverage of the IHSA Boys Basketball Super Sectionals on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/IHSA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Illinois high school playoff action. We are set to start the second half. Dyett with a 18-16 lead on Bismarck-Henning Rossville Alvin. If you're just joining us, this is an 11-0 start for the Eagles. BHRA has gotten it as close as two. This is as close as they've been. As we are underway here in the second half, Dyett in their home whites going right to left. Matt Littlewald, Kyle Smith, Tommy Gilbert, and our entire NFHS Network staff with you. Glad you're with us here at Joliet Central, the historic gymnasium here in downtown Joliet. How will these teams attack the zone? That's the question that everybody had at halftime.
Got to attack the middle, attack the baseline. You can't keep passing it around the perimeter. This is exactly what BHRA wants.
Movement, better movement, good look for three, and that's no good.
It's good look, partner, but remember, this isn't the Golden State Warriors. It's Dyett. These are high school kids. Three-pointers are going to miss more than at the NBA level. You got to find ways to get open twos.
Stanford drive, kick, back out. Peoples thought about it.
Got to be more aggressive when you're open like that if you're Peoples.
Yeah, that's a good closeout for Dyett there as well. With Jaden McKinnon, all 6'4" of him coming at him.
Peoples pretty good
Good
size
bounce
guard.
pass inside. Stanford working on the block. And pass poked away and stolen. Brown gives it up. Harris on the drive and the floater too strong. Rebound right back up, no. Tip, no. BHRA surviving that possession.
Let's see if Bismarck can get something on the elbow or if Peoples is open for the triple. Just shoot it, man.
Dyett comes out back in man-to-man. Peoples on the drive, contact, and yes, count it, and the foul for Keeson Peoples. Getting going, and we're tied at 18.
I was surprised that they bid on the ball fake because he's been very unaggressive tonight on the triple, but that's why you get 21 points per game, right, Matt? He has such nice ball fakes. They bid on it. He gets to the paint and one off the window. Chance to take their first lead of the night.
So they denied the sub.
Got to be fast, especially in the playoffs, man. They don't allow it like they do in the regular season.
And the rebound for Dyett. It's very odd. Johnson came to the table, but he didn't really stop. He just ran on the floor. No, you cannot do that. You got to be beckoned on the floor by the official. And he sent him back to the bench. And there's a foul reach in. I think they got that right.
I was just going to say, man, real quickly, that's not all on the player. The problem is, like, when you're used to scorer's table, letting that go, you get into a rhythm of doing that, a habit of doing that, and that's something that scorer's table need to know in the regular season so you don't have these issues come playoff time.
So Dyett, after the foul on the inbound, just one team foul each way. Not very many fouls in the first half. Should be in good shape. Shelton against the double team and go against that zone again.
One part of the court you want to avoid on a zone is the corner at all times, and that's what Dyett did early on in this possession.
Had some trouble with that in the first half. Not too many turnovers, though.
Quick passes, attack the middle. Too much dribbling.
Shelton on the drive, and we're going to say push foul. There might be a key to success right there if Dyett can get some driving lanes going and get to the free throw line.
Yeah, utilize Shelton. He's an 8.5 points per game scorer. It's not just about Brown. Try to use Shelton as well.
Inbound, spinning, and yep, travel. He took that wide turn, and Ricky Coleman steps.
It doesn't really matter, partner. It looked like it was last touched by Dyett anyways. Looked like it went off the knee. But yeah, possession here for BHRA. And I'd love to get it to Peoples or Stanford on this possession, obviously.
BHRA has not led at all in this game as we check in now with Tommy Gilbert.
I was checking in with Blue Devils head coach Gary Tidwell coming out of halftime. Asked him if there were any particular adjustments he was looking for, especially against the zone, to open the third quarter, and he smiled and said, not really. We just got to take care of the ball. We struggled with that early. They got 3 3-pointers, but we settled down, and I think they're good now. A lot more calm than on the other side of the coin. When you had Coach Gill really upset with the shot selection in particular. We keep shooting jump shots. We got to get the ball inside. You've seen them try to do that a little bit more here in the early going. Very mixed success in the first 3 minutes here.
Yeah, both teams have really struggled against the zone, Tommy. Thank you. And of course, different philosophies coming out. As you're seeing, Peoples lost the handle, but got it back. Stanford in the corner. Peoples on the wing. Hasn't really had maybe 1 or 2 good looks. Driving in, and a turnover.
It's a Blue Devils team. They've only lost 1 all year, and that was in February to Mammoth Seymour. Will tonight be their second loss? We'll find out in a couple quarters from now.
Shelton, kick out. Harris thought about it, and they traveled. A little hop step there.
Yeah, it's decision time for Jamal Gill. They look out of sorts. Second travel in a row on back-to-back possessions. It's one thing to miss baskets. It's another thing to give up the basketball like they're doing.
See the frustration on the face of the 5'9" senior. BHRA is still looking for its first lead of the game. Kellerminnick.
Stay aggressive. Don't avoid the three-point shot, but stay aggressive by attacking the baseline like that.
I've been very impressed with Dyett with their active hands defensively. They have had their hands in the passing lane all day. It hasn't always created turnovers, but it's completely disrupted their offense.
Yeah, it was a nice cut by Kellerminnick. Keep attacking, Kellerminnick, Peoples, Stanford, and the baskets will come.
Try to free up Du Bois. Chaz couldn't get a look.
The reason why Dyett blew an 11-0 lead, they're just not being aggressive enough.
Back to the right, Kellerminnick, Peoples, backside screen. Those have not turned into clean looks today. Peoples cutting. Lost it, get it back. And
what a
have a foul on Dyett. It's going to be Shelton with it.
I was going to say, what a bailout foul, because he was double teamed. He had nowhere to go. And the reason that's a bailout foul, partner, BHRA did not have to call a timeout on that possession.
Saves them quite a bit. They're going to need that one late. Here's Du Bois back outside. Stanford, 3-ball, too strong.
That's exactly what Dyett wants too. Oh my God.
Nearly missed the rebound. Johnson had it, Austin got it again. Shelton gathers.
The zone is tough, partner. That's why Jim Boeheim had that long coaching job at Syracuse with the 2-3 zone.
Shelton in the corner.
Zone ain't no joke.
3-ball on the way on the right wing, no. Rebound came down at the same time. It's going to be a tie-up.
You know,
Jane McKinnon and Chaz Du Bois.
That's on McKinnon. You've got to be able to body yourself up on the low block. He kept forcing his way out, allowing an easy box-out opportunity for the Blue Devils. Right now, the aggression and the intensity is advantage Blue Devils right now.
Jameer Brown on the floor, 6-foot junior. Shelton comes off. Got Brown, Johnson. We also have Aramis Brown as well. And a hand in the passing lane again.
Another thing too, partner, when you got the power forward coming out to the perimeter like that, attack right away because there's no shot blocker. But you got to be quick on your decisions.
Du Bois, you got Chaz Du Bois. And you've got Ethan on the floor at the same time.
Know where Johnson and McKinnon are at all times. When they come out to the perimeter, then you can attack. because there's no shot blocker in the painted area.
That's a big foul right there because that gives them team foul number 4.
Yeah, it's the new rules. Remember, it used to be 7 and 10. Now it's 5 fouls every quarter.
They have 3 on the board here, so not quite there yet.
Keep attacking. I know I've said it so many times, but
the IHRA looking for a window to take their first lead of the game.
Avoid complacency.
Stanford leaning on in, and the Devils are in front.
Find the mismatch and then attack. That's what the Blue Devils did. They got the mismatch. They're up by 2.
It's a 20-7 stretch since trailing 11-0 in the opening 4 minutes. Fall away, no. Rebound, right back up and in. That's Jaden McKinnon.
Excellent job by the Blue Devils not fouling. The offensive board was given up. Don't allow a 3-point play.
Kalaminek left alone for 3.
When you're that open, partner, in transition, if you're feeling it, shoot. He was feeling it. He shot. He made it.
McKinnon, ooh, and he did call a travel. I think he was hesitating, and we have a travel. Everyone looked uncertain in that play.
You know, partner, sometimes I value the possession over the timeout. I know the analytics of the game has changed and the timeouts are more valuable than the possession. That was a really valuable possession that was costly to the Eagles because they didn't call a timeout.
Looking for those backside cuts. They have not had any backdoor opportunities today. BHRA looking for their first one. To the corner, 3 on the way. No.
Okay, he was open. I don't mind that shot.
Would have blown the roof off this century-old gym.
Keep using your front court. Don't abandon them.
Final 90 of this one here in the third quarter. The winner to get the Manual Rams on Thursday afternoon in the Class 2A state semifinals at the State Farm Center. This has been a good one here. Dyett raced out to an 11-0 lead, and BHRA slowly but surely crawled back in, and they're in front for the first time.
The problem with that 11-0 lead, it was 3 3-pointers, and some of them were contested. Now the threes aren't falling, and Dyett just doesn't know how to answer against the zone defense.
By the way, when you're cheering, you do not stop, even if the ball comes in your area. That's what we've learned right there. But in all seriousness, let's hear it for the Dyett Eagles cheerleading squad. You do not see this at the public league level very often. They are here in full force. Kudos to the Eagles cheerleading squad.
Look, Dyett has had their chances. They played on a rhythm in the second half, and I'd like for Jamal Gill to be more aggressive and call timeouts. We talked about a minute ago where they were going sideways past the timeline. Jamal Gill did not tell his players to call timeout, and it cost them a very valuable possession.
Free throw goes down for Jameer Brown.
We talk about in football, you know, teams like to go for it on fourth because you're trying to overvalue your possessions. Basketball, you have more possessions, obviously, than football, but there are times that you have to value your possessions, either calling timeout or making sure to avoid turnovers.
Got them both. Trouble getting the ball in. Finally, Stanford and a turnover takeaway. Right back up and a foul.
Yeah, had no choice but to foul. Would have been an easy layup, almost a breakaway layup, in fact, for the Eagles. But yeah, that's something that the Blue Devils have to learn the hard way. When you see the trap like that and you got a bunch of timeouts.
You're going to say that's on the floor.
Are you kidding me? What a break for the Blue Devils.
See if Dyett can convert either way. Stop from 14, yes sir.
But the problem with that is they would have had a 3-point play attempt. They get the basket, but they would have rather had the 3-point play. Actually, they make the basket.
Aramis Brown with 5 now. Only one player on the floor in double figures. Kalaminek open again from the corner. And the roar of the Devils continues. They go back in front.
I don't mind that if I'm the Eagles. Eventually, those shots by Kalaminek are not going to fall. He was wide open, though. Let's just give credit where credit is due. Excellent offense by the Blue Devils on that possession.
Kalaminek with 9 off the bench. All 3 from long range.
Dyett obviously is still very much in this game. They have to change something, though. They got to attack more. Stop with the passes around the perimeter. Try to attack the baseline and the middle, and the open shots will come, including the mid-range jumpers.
little extended pressure now from BHRA. Final possession, you would think, for this first half for Dyett. Step through to the rim and the rack in the floor. The foul will add to the three-point play coming up.
Didn't like that foul one bit by the Blue Devils. They got beat in the paint. You're up by 2. Just give them the basket because you can hold the ball for the last shot. Why foul? Now you can give the Eagles the lead back.
Jameer Brown heating up a bit.
Gotta be smart. Basketball IQ is so important in these late postseason games.
Second trip to the free throw line. He's knocked down all 3. He's got 5, and the pressure coming from Dyett. Back to the corner again for Kellerminnick. Final 7 seconds. Dyett pushing. Shelton, 3 ball on the way, short. And that will not get off in time, and that is how a frantic finish to the third quarter shapes up. We are heading to the fourth, and it's going to be a good one.
We're going to talk about it at this commercial break. Meanwhile, the Eagles lead 27-26 here on the NHS Network.
This is heart. This is pride. This is community. This is high school football.
Today's event is available for download. Just click the digital copy button under the event video player to download a digital copy of this super sectional matchup right to your computer. Matt Rodewald, Kyle Smith, Tommy Gilbert with you at Joliet Central. It's a good one. Dyett and BHRA, the winner of this one, to head to Champaign in the state semifinals for the first time in school history. And Kyle, it's a building that feels like the urgency and the hunger to get downstate for the first time is alive and well.
It sure is. And for Bismarck, you have to know it's going to be a low-scoring game the rest of the night. So, like we saw at the end of the quarter, when you get beat in transition like that, do not foul. Don't fall for the ball fake. Let them shoot and allow it to be a tie game. Now the Eagles have a little bit of momentum, up by 1, even though things did not go very well for them in that third quarter.
So we start the fourth here. The winner to get Peoria Manual. The Rams already won in big fashion. And so who will the Rams face? Back to the zone for BHRA. Blue Devils probably have played more zone in this one than they have in a long time.
You're right, partner. Both teams like to play man-to-man. Whatever they saw in the game, Phil, both teams have switched to zone, and it's created havoc for most of this game.
Dyett converted a couple of threes, but not really since early on.
Conditioning is so key. McKinnick and Johnson look a little winded.
I'm going to try and draw him out of the zone.
Good job by BHRA avoiding their front court players to come out to the perimeter. Keep their front court players back.
I know that people don't like this style of basketball, but I love the strategy here. I mean, you want them to come out of that zone. Drive on in. Rebound put back, blocked away. People said no, and Dyett will keep it.
Known more for his offense, but if you want to go to the state semifinals, you got to play on both sides of the court.
And you will face a much bigger Manual squad coming up on Thursday.
Du Bois leads the team in blocks per game at .6, just .2 for Peoples.
They swing it. Shelton on the left side.
I just don't understand why they're reluctant to attack the baseline.
Trying to be patient. Again, there is no baseline movement. And that's been driving Jamal Gill nuts. There's a short corner work. Trying to work the high post. Nobody's setting up. See, from a coach's standpoint, Kyle, as you watch this, the flash cut, that needs to be that hard every time. And that's going to be a jump ball. Finally, we saw Amaris Brown come over hard on the cut. And that's how that play was even to happen.
See, the problem is they're not quick with their decisions. He was open, but only for a split second. We talk about NFL open. That was kind of NFL open. That was kind of NBA open. You got to make the pass quick, because if you don't, the rotation's going to come quickly.
We have a whistle and a foul away from the ball. It's going to be an offensive foul.
Break for the Eagles.
You get Thomas with that one. Again, nobody really in foul trouble with the exception of Ricky Coleman, who's got 3. And everybody else has 2 or less.
That's
so we're in good shape.
When you don't attack, nobody fouls.
Right.
You're not going to foul a 3-point shooter.
So everybody's in good shape to have the stars on the floor towards the end of this one.
Good. Don't shoot the 3.
Shelton swings it around the corner.
Force the defense to overcommit, and then the mismatches and the odd man breaks will happen in favor of your team.
High post cut, nothing there.
Conditioning's so important. I wonder how much that this front court for Dyett has left in the tank. The Blue Devils have given it their all on defense tonight.
We have no points scored in this quarter yet. Very patient.
Possessions at an all-time premium. Cannot afford to turn the ball over.
They tried to go in the high post, and and then he turned it back over. Oh, goodness.
Well, break for the Eagles. They've been going to that full court press in the second half, and it has created so many problems for BHRA once they rebound the basketball.
They go right side against this zone. We got McKinnon trying to flash a high cut. Now they're going to go 2 guard. Let's see how this changes. Here comes a high screen. Gets it back, but they don't move the ball. Back to the 1-3-1 offense. They had a high post look for a second. They can't get it in. Swing pass. McKinnon unloads. Knocks it down. Jaden McKinnon for 3.
A beautiful 3-ball from the outside there, Matt. Ironically, pretty much the opposite of what Coach Gill's been preaching to his team all day. Much happier with the shot selection, in particular with Brown getting inside when he was talking to his team at the end of the third quarter, for sure.
All right, Tommy, thank you very much. Halfway gone by in this fourth quarter. It is Dyett with a 4-point lead with a trip to Champaign on the line. BHRA led by as much as 5 after trailing 11-0 to start. It's the second time in 2 games they've had to rally from double digits to take the lead. Peoples drive on in, and a travel.
You know, Matt, I think there might have been contact before the travel. But you know what? They've been very consistent with that call. Timeout on the floor. We'll talk about it after this timeout. It's 30-26 in favor of the Eagles here on the NFHS Network.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
High school sports fans, never miss another game. Become a subscriber to the NFHS Network to watch live event coverage, game replays, and highlights from high school sporting events from all across the country. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination, NFHSnetwork.com. We are high school.
You know, partner, it hasn't been a great offensive game, but when they really needed a bucket, they went to one of their co-captains, and Jaden McKinnon, he's a wing and a shooting guard, 6'4", huge basket, a three-pointer might put this game away.
He's got 8 points. And a steal. Oh, he almost kept it in. They say out of bounds.
Right.
Keeson Peoples is right there for it. He has been quiet. It's been Micah Stanford carrying the load with 11 of the 26 points. And how about Caden Kellerminick off the bench with 3 threes? They could use one from him right now.
Well, just need a bucket. A 3 would be excellent, but just any kind of bucket. Need to get a stop here, and this is where not having the shot clock is a huge advantage for Dyett.
Will they come out of the zone or extend their pressure a little bit? And will Dyett make sure that they keep attacking that zone? Cross-court pass. BHRA is going to turn up the screws here in a minute. Here come the traps. And they call Peoples with it. They wanted the intentional foul on the bench, and I think they have a pretty good argument. That is just the second team foul, so they have to do that again. I think they're just trying to at least get to 4. I think it's a pretty smart strategy from Gary Tidwell. See if they come out and do it again.
Yeah, you only got 2 fouls, but you got to do it quickly in the possession. Now you're on an odd man rush.
Easy finish. They broke the pressure, and Brown finishes it. 6-point lead for Dyett.
See, that's what happens when you make quick decisions, then you get the odd man rush. When you wait too long and you panic, that's how BHRA has forced turnovers tonight.
Peoples, Stanford has an avenue, kick out, 3-ball on the way. Yes! Chaz DuBois cutting the lead in half.
Don't mind that defense at all, though, because eventually those threes aren't going to fall. We saw Kalmenick miss that 3 in transition. He was open, but I'd rather that than an easy layup.
They're trying to foul. They're trying to foul on purpose now. Will they recognize that? Tidwell calling for it.
Do not panic and do not dribble towards the corner.
They've got 2 more they have to give here.
I'd wait till the minute 30 mark to foul again.
I think you need to. And they go into high post, baseline cut. No, the layup too strong. Chance to tie it with a 3.
Use the backboard, big fella.
Stanford had it poked away and stolen. Still loose. Still loose. Picked up by Dyett. Peoples and a foul.
Should be in the act of shooting, but it was just before he got the ball up. But it should be a shooting foul.
They did say he was going up. That
you know,
will put Jameer Brown at the line.
I was going to say, it was an open bunny, but it was kind of from an awkward angle, especially for a power forward that isn't used to shooting. Because of no shot clock, he could have just dribbled down the baseline and run more clock. He had the air ball. Then we saw chaos happen. Free throws good, by the way, for the Eagles. Something that the Eagles have to think about. Baskets are good, but running clock might be better than trying a basket, especially if it's contested.
Brown has hit all 4 of his free throws tonight.
He's been great. Shelton's usually their money guy at the free throw line, but Brown, their co-captain, has been the go-to guy tonight.
Got them all. And by the way, that was the 4th foul on Peoples. That is a big foul and a whistle and a timeout for BHRA. It is a big contingent across the way, but they are silent, nervous. 34-1. They've only seen 1 loss this year. Will they see their state title dreams end tonight? Timeout on the floor, a 5-point lead for Dyett.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Good evening, everybody. Kyle Smith alongside Matt Rodewald. 5-point lead for the Eagles. For the Blue Devils, partner, because there's no shot clock, you can't take too much time on this possession. Get a basket, try to get an open look, and then you have to foul on purpose because no shot clock at this level.
Kellerminnick has hit 3 threes. He's on the floor in the far corner. On the floor with Chaz DuBois, Micah Stanford, Keeson Peoples, and Anderson Thomas. 80 seconds for the rest of their lives. Kellerminnick, put back, yes! Back to within 3.
Excellent box out, avoided the over the back, and an excellent bucket, down by 3.
We have hit the 1-minute mark.
Remember, you got one more foul to give.
But it can't be Peoples, who has 4 fouls, and he knows it. They've got to be careful.
At least I hope he knows it.
Keep away to the corner, baseline, and a foul. They're going to say it's on the ground on a hold.
That's another thing, partner. He went up for the shot. I would have liked to see him dribble down the baseline to run more clock. Remember, the clock is sometimes more valuable than the basket. And he didn't even make the basket. Are they going to call it on the floor again?
That is on the floor. Yep, they called it immediately on the floor, and they're going to go far side, baseline.
Well, that's more of an advantage for the Eagles if they can get the inbounds play in.
It's still a foul either way situation. I'm still surprised Peoples is on the floor right now.
Just don't foul.
They smartly let it go in the backcourt. That is a savvy move by Jameer Brown. Now they have to foul. Here's a trap coming. And a foul comes late.
That's what they wanted. They wanted a foul around the 30-second mark.
They get Micah Stanford. That's just number 2 on him. That could have easily been on Peoples, and he would have been done.
Got to be ready for the board if you're the Blue Devils.
This is the one guy you did not want to put at the line for BHRA. Jameer Brown, a perfect 5 for 5 at the free throw line this evening. Eight points. Ian McKinnon leading the way.
Well, they played the percentages coming into today, 68%. Pretty darn good, and then obviously Shelton's been almost perfect at 85%.
Got the second, and a timeout. Dyett is going to set up their defense, and a big hug from Jamal Gill.
You know, Matt, we talked about maximizing possessions. How big was it when BHRA fell behind 11-0 and 13-2? They didn't maximize their possessions. You play with fire, eventually you get burned. They played with fire of not having a hot start, and they're very close to getting burned right now.
They crawled back down 11-0, took the lead early in the second half, and then Dyett composed themselves and just got in front just enough to hold them off at this point. But it certainly looks like BHRA, if anything, is going to need a 3 and a stop. They are now in the penalty here, and fouls to work with too. But they've got their shooting unit on the floor with Stanford, Peoples, DuBois, Kellerminnick, and Thomas.
I would allow a layup, just don't allow it.
That's not a bad foul for Dyett.
It's actually a really good idea.
That's their first team foul, so keep that in mind. Dyett has 3 more to give. Waste a lot of clock here by pressuring.
That's the only problem of the 5 every quarter instead of the 7 and 10.
Stanford, DuBois all the way to the rim, and a foul! Goodness!
Not smart. Just give him the layup. That's the one thing you didn't want. A layup plus an and 1. Decision time for BHRA. Do you try to make the free throw, or do you miss on purpose to try to push the ball backwards for an open 3 to tie the game?
Chaz DuBois, a 6'3 senior, came up big in the regional final from the 3-point line. And he comes up big from the free throw line to get it within 2 and a timeout.
Yeah, we'll stick with the action. So, Matt, I'll let you call it. I thought that was a bad decision. I would have missed on purpose to try to get the offensive board and try to tie the score.
You got 18 seconds. You've got plenty of time.
Yeah, but they're not missing free throws. That's the problem.
36-34. Dyett in front. They'll get it back here.
So if they make 2, in theory, the game is over, unless you can get a quick basket. So you got to foul right away, and you got to hope Dyett at least misses 1. If you would try to miss on purpose, you had a chance to get the rebound and possibly tie it up with a 3. Now you got to rely on them missing free throws.
Again, the winner of this one will get Manual and the Rams at 3:45 on Thursday. Other games going on right now. It looked like Tutopolis and Althoff were finishing up. Althoff with the lead in that fourth quarter. And how about this environment? Christ the King, they were facing Rock Falls, but that game's in Sterling, which is a town over from Rock Falls. So Christ the King basically playing a road game, straight road game, 100 miles west of the city. And it is a full house in Sterling. Go there when we get done here if you get a chance to watch the finish in 2A as well. So the free throw is good, and Dyett will have the ball. They can move on the baseline. It will be McKinnon on the inbounds with Peoples right up front.
They'll try to get a steal, and then 2 seconds later, they'll foul.
They get it in. The one guy that Dyett wants to get it into, and the foul is going to be on Peoples. That will be it for him.
Huge call. Got to call it on Peoples.
Nope.
That's a.
Keeson Peoples fouls out. Just 5 points today. Not the way he wanted to end his junior season if this is it for him. The lone junior.
He just looked a little out of sorts today, Matt. He wasn't shooting open triples. I know they were a little far away, but he can make those. He has range. He just looked a little out of sorts today, and it might cost them a chance at going to the state semifinals.
Just looked a little tentative against the kind of defensive pressure that maybe he hasn't been used to seeing throughout the year. That does happen when you get to this level. And so that will be a hit for him, and you can see the frustration as he goes to the bench. Meanwhile, coming in is Ethan Dubose, the 5'10 senior.
Got to make at least 1. Problem is for the Eagles, the one thing that BHRA has been good at is making three-point shots.
I believe they have timeouts to work with. First one good.
So according to our technical director, they got 4 timeouts as BHRA, just 2 remaining for the Eagles.
And Gary Tidwell is going to use one right here to just try and throw him out of his rhythm a bit. But Jameer Brown, impressive composure for the 6-foot junior at the line. This is big-time stuff for what he's been doing at the line here in this fourth quarter.
So if you're Dyett, if you miss this free throw and BHRA rebounds, guard the perimeter like it's your life and allow a layup. Do not foul the layup like they previously did. Allow the layup to happen. For the Blue Devils, if they miss, get the rebound and get to your spot quickly. Whoever gets the ball, try to get it to a playmaker that can facilitate and get it down the court to your best isolation player in case he has to shoot a contested 3.
And usually in situations like this, you have a free throw fast break play set up where on the miss or even on the make, you can run them both. But it's usually a sideline push down the floor because of the efficiency of time that you have in mind. And so we'll see if that's how this is going to work here.
Do not bite on the ball fakes. Do not do what Auburn did in that famous Final Four game against Virginia. Kyle Guy got fouled on a 3. They were down 2. He made all 3 free throws at the charity stripe. Virginia won 2 days later, and they won the national championship.
So Jameer Brown walks back to the line, trying to ice it and give them a 2-possession game.
Ooh. Ball game.
They can't roll it because of extra pressure. They got to get it in, they do. Cross-court pass. To the rack. Easy lay-in and a timeout.
See, Matt, I was surprised by that because they have 3 fouls left. Well, technically 2 fouls left. I would just foul there. Why even give up the layup? Just foul him before he
gets a full head of steam to the basket.
I think in some sense the clock is your friend there, and you just let them waste as much time as
that's
possible.
True too. There's no wrong answer. I just would have fouled. I guess the problem is if you foul, maybe he gets the shot up and they call it in the act of shooting instead of on the floor. But anyways, they're up 2. Just get the ball in, and Dyett's most likely going to be a participant in the Final Four.
Trying to check the timeout situation.
It should be 3 for the Blue Devils, 2 for the Eagles.
All right, 38-36, Dyett with a 2-point lead or 8.1 left on the clock. Glenn, you're glad you're with us. Matt Rodewald, Kyle Smith, Tommy Gilbert, our entire crew. Kevin Macy, our producer. Our photographer is Chris Angela, and our executive producer, Stephen Lawler of the NFHS. So Dyett can run the length of the floor, length of the baseline, I should say here. A turnover is a killer. Can they protect the ball? They're trying to get it in, and a foul. No time went off the clock. But they put the wrong guy at the line again.
Intangibles, partner. You got to know who their free throw shooters are and who their free throw shooters aren't.
Kind of one of those situations there you don't really have a choice.
I get it, but at least let him get the ball first and try to steal and then foul. Don't just do it before the inbounds play.
The clock is your friend.
It is. It is your friend. If you're going to do that, try to foul a front court player, not a wing.
Jameer Brown again at the line. Perfect tonight.
He's been excellent, hasn't he?
It's remarkable, to be honest with you, with this much pressure on the line for the 16-year-old. 9 for 9 at the free throw line.
Wow.
One more. Got it. And a real headsy timeout by Jamal Gill.
Look, I feel for this BHRA team in the crowd. To be honest, though, I think the better team is going to win tonight.
If this finishes this way, those of you that are watching down in Vermilion County should be thankful you do not have a 108-mile drive waiting for you at the end of this. But there's a lot of people across the way that do, and it's going to be a lonely 2-hour trip.
People's learned a very valuable lesson tonight. When you play good defenses, you have to make quick decisions. When you second guess yourself, good defenses like Dyett are going to key in on that, and the double's going to come quicker than any other defense you've seen all year. And that's what Dyett happened to them today. They didn't make quick decisions either, but they made the adjustments, and they were fantastic at the free throw line.
Well, the puzzle pieces are almost there. Manuel, Althoff, and can Dyett punch their ticket to Champaign? 8.1 left. Clock runs. They won't foul, and that will do it. Dyett, for the first time in school history, will head to Champaign and play in the state semifinals. The Dyett Eagles are dancing downstate.
So hard to beat a full court press like that. You got to go the full length of the court. You're down 4. Excellent defense by Dyett to force them to go the length of the court to get the layup. Eventually it led to indecision by the Blue Devils. They turned it over, and Dyett was just a little bit better than the Blue Devils tonight, and just not enough Keeson Peoples either.
What a ball game. Interesting. A lot of factors involved in this one. BHRA, their dream season comes to an end once again in the super section around. Snake bit at this level. And this group of seniors, after winning 30 games last year, they win 34 this year, and they come away without a trophy.
Battle tested is this Dyett team. They had a little better of a strength of schedule than Bismarck, and they keyed in on Peoples. Their game film analysis was fantastic tonight. They forced somebody else to beat them. Kelamitic was almost that guy. What do they say? It's always a make or miss league. Eventually, Kelamitic was going to miss some of those threes, and BHRA just didn't have enough of an answer offensively.
They knocked out the defending 2A champs, and now it's their chance to represent the Public League. Dyett dancing downstate, and their super sectional plaque. What a moment for Dyett High School.
Well
you
deserved.
weren't sure that this high school would even survive and stay open. But here they are, the chance to play on the big stage for the first time.
They got a good shot at winning it all, but they have to understand you got to attack on the zone defense. I'm sure in the semifinals and if they make the championship game, they're going to use zone defenses, and you got to be able to utilize McKinnick and Johnson, or they're going to get beat in the semifinals.
That's what dancing looks like when you win a super sectional.
Better dancers than me, that's for sure.
I can stand on that stage. I will fully confidently stay on that
stage.
All
right, well, there's a club down the street. Are you going with me and Kevin Macy to show off our dance moves?
Absolutely not. I have full confidence that I don't need to show that. But either way, it's a good one tonight.
So we're going to go to our post-game show brought to you by the NFHS Network. But that does it for our in-game broadcast. For Kevin Macy, for Matt Rodewald, for Chris Angela and Tommy Gilbert, I'm Kyle Smith, 40-36. Congratulations to Dyett moving on to the semifinals, and congratulations to the Blue Devils for a well-fought effort tonight. They were just 4 points short. Post-game show brought to you by NFHS Network. Coming up next here on NFHSNetwork.com.
One second from half court.
Jumping for joy with
First ever
A 2-on-1. Oh!
Did he bring it in? He did!
It is caught!
There have always been a few ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Postgame Show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3, the power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.